So looking at the pictures, this one's the one I chose. It's basically an X-ray, as you can see, about my spine, and it relates to me because I had scoliosis, which is an abnormal curvature of the spine, and your spine starts looking like an S or a C as time goes on. There are three primary reasons you get it. One is because of medical history. Someone has a scoliosis in your family. Another one is just random. There's a statistic that I don't know at the top of my head, but X amount of children get it out of like 10. No, get it out of a certain amount of population. And the third one would be an accident, possibly causing it. So mine was actually the second one. I just got it randomly, and I believe that was age 14. So it looked like this, and as it progressed, it actually turned to a 75-degree. So from 37.1, it went to a 75. So it was really big. You can see it through the way that I walked, or there was always like a big hump in my back, and at that point I started wearing a brace which would actually go around my body, and it would stop it from growing even more, but it would not fix it. So there's not a lot of much research about this. However, a brace really helps it to for it to stop growing and becoming even bigger. And if that doesn't happen, then surgery happens, and which I did have surgery. However, when I look at this picture, what comes to memory is actually the brace that I had to wear. Well, I wore a couple of braces throughout the growth or more curvature of my spine. I think when I was wearing the brace, my visual, my hearing, my touching, my tasting, my smell, I'll explain some of those. My visual was the brace itself and the designs on it. The hearing one was, I think it was primarily what the doctor spoke about, the function of it, and like the follow-up meetings. Touching it was a hard texture, and it was like a helmet, so that I had to wear. And I think that's the one that most stood out, the texture of the brace itself. And when it comes to taste and smell, those were the weak ones. I do not remember, or at least I don't recall much upon them. However, touching was the primary one that I really remember when I look at these pictures. How the texture felt, because they were pretty hard. It was pretty hard material. Well, tying it back to our lesson as I did in the other video. So what's key about this memory is that memories change us, memories don't change. So in relation to the assignment, the key point was that memories are old perceptions. So that change. So in regards to this, I believe my whole perception of the field of like my whole perception on how doctors approached it changed. I used to think that like once this happens, surgery is automatic. However, there's like different approaches you could take, as like for example the brace, or there's also those chiropractors that you go to and you do a daily exercise. So overall, my perspective on how doctors approached a certain medical problem changed. It elaborated into a much more reasonable and complex one. It changed my firing patterns because as I wore the brace, and got more information about the brace, I got to understand a little bit more about the importance and function of it, somewhere around those lines. I think it's a memory because it's impacted my health primarily, as well as my family. And I think it also has collaborated into what profession I want to go to, which is like the medical field. So yeah. Yeah, thank you.